The shit's about to hit the fan.
You're listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast. It's time to take it to the max.
Did Cody do the right thing? We got plenty of injuries to talk about. It seems the wrestling world has been cursed this month, possibly by somebody a lot more evil than Danhausen. Hey yo, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's Max Wrestling episode 378. This is your Capitan speaking, along with El Jefe Moses Marquez.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning, back home, back off tour.
Got
all your equipment.
Back with usable internet. Let's not forget that's my favorite part, usable internet.
It was so strange last week, like not having a microphone in front of you or anything.
Dude,
or a picture of Goldberg behind you.
I was gonna say, you're telling me that was honestly the thing that really I missed the most. I was like, "Where's Goldie at?"
Of all the things to miss, Goldberg.
Seriously though, but no, I mean, real truth told, I literally took every bit of my equipment. I think I even got a shot of it on the show. I don't remember. That's how tired I was doing that show, and the internet at this hotel was so bad, and I do mean just so bad. You couldn't. My normal, like when your phone is faster than Wi-Fi, you know there's a problem.
Yeah.
So I was like, yep, this is screwy. There's no way this is going to work. And then on top of that, apparently Verizon was like, hey, yo, I don't care about your podcast. You don't get no hotspot from us, Jack. I was like, oh.
Trying to do a world-class fucking podcast with Sam fucking Roberts.
And they said, yeah, well, then go home.
You're going to see a couple of changes this week. We got a couple of new segments. Couple of new graphics. Let's see how it goes. We're just coming off Heck in a Cell, aka Hell in a Cell.
I called it Heck in a Box all weekend, but I'm with it.
Heck in a Box, I like it. We should do that every year now. Cody wrestled with a freshly torn pec muscle. Was it brave or stupid or both? We'll discuss that in a little bit. The Summer of Punk just got hit by a massive tornado. A swerve that absolutely nobody saw coming as the House of Purple betray Edge. All this and more. But first, we'd like to know other people's horrible takes. So this is Shit Mark Say.
OMG, Kevin Nash.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Tell me you did not just say that.
WTF, thought he was dead, LOL.
All right, so before we begin, what do we have from the TikTok nerds this week? Is there anything from the TikTok nerds this week? Or have they been behaving themselves?
We did have a couple of people, and honestly, one of them is a bigger name. One of them not so big. He actually kind of like got shunned for a little bit and had to go away. Apparently, there are some makeup artists in the world out there, and there was a rumor going around that fucking Cody's torn pec, as Pat McAfee says, he tore his tit, was fake.
Blew his boob.
He tore his boob. And I still love tore your tit. But of all the things you can try to spin, if you will, it's fake. Bro, like that shit was gnarly. In no way does anybody think that was fake. And if you thought that was at all, like he had posted pictures of his fucking timeline, how it got worse and worse and worse. I decided to stay away. It was one of those things where I felt like I was just going to start to name call and belittle people. So I said, you know what, this is what I'm staying away from. But other than that, there's still a lot of talk of MJF and his promo. Being there at the LA Forum, feeling the excitement in the arena, the entire thing, you know, obviously it's a great work. I love the entire thing. It's amazing. Like I said, literally, as Teddy says, you're in there, you know, with this hook and line and sinker. But the thing that I think tops it all for me is he's finally fitting that pedestal that I put him on. I've said for a long time that he was one of the best heels in the business, if not one of the greatest of all time. So I've asked the question, is there anybody, face or heel, that at this young, 26 years old, was this like big, And you can't say that he is. This guy he is as big as Roddy Piper is right now for the same exact reason. He's an excellent talker. He's an excellent worker, but he's never won a world title.
Yeah.
But that's my whole thing. He's 20 fucking 6. Like, that's the part that I keep pushing. Who in the wrestling business at 26 years old has been this good? I can't think of anybody. And I'm even trying to think of the dudes in like Japan, maybe a Kabashi, maybe a Tanahashi. But
yeah,
at 26 years old, I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
Like Randy won the world title when he was 24, but he still had a long way to go.
He wasn't the promo that he is now.
Oh no.
And that's what I'm driving at. It's not only is it in ring that polished and all of his matches are compelling, but he has literally taken any part of the wrestling world by storm, from the casuals to the hardcores. You now talk about MJF. And I've said this exact sentence, I think 5 months ago, when the whole thing with Wardlow started and the whole thing with him and Punk was going on. And oh my God, MJF this, and oh my God, this was all supposed to happen. This was going to happen. All of a sudden, more and more and more jumping on the bandwagon. I was on the bandwagon before there was a bandwagon. I was the guy walking around like, hey, you heard of MJF? I already have a bank, okay? Leave me alone. Like, that was the response I would get.
And they've literally gone all in with this work. It is such a good work. Like, they've taken all his merchandise off. They've taken him off the roster page. TNT and TBS have been asked to remove him from all
That's right. Yeah, they even got the
material.
Executives involved.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, so from the shit marks say, first up for this week, we have Thrill King Idiot.
Well, I'm sure the idiot part will fit him beautifully.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the Thrill King part. Mr. Thrill King Idiot says, wrestling schools in general are a scam. You can learn everything you need to know from YouTube videos, legends, interviews, and podcasts, and your own backyards of bumping. Not a dollar spent. No, they are not, and no, the fuck you can't learn everything from YouTube.
I mean, I know some people that have that lovely mentality of YouTube will teach you everything under the sun. Can it teach you how to work? And the answer to that is fuck no. Is YouTube gonna chop you? Is it gonna yell at you when you bump wrong and you fuck yourself up? Is it gonna ensure that you hit the ropes the right way without getting all this fucking bruising all over your back? Like, no, there's so much more to pro wrestling than even I understood. Okay, like, and again, I was a 4-year amateur wrestler. Okay, I went there and I don't want to say like, oh, I did it all, but to those who did it, they understand. There's a grind. There's a 5-day-a-week grind. You're getting up, you're running, you're eating, you're wrestling. That's you eat, you shit, you wrestle is what they would say. You know, you sleep, you shit, you wrestle. And I was like, well, what about eating? Nope, you sleep, you shit, wrestle. All right. Well, I don't know how I'm shitting. I'm not eating, but anyway. But that's the thing. There's a grind to it, and if there's repetition, there's learning within the sport. There's learning how different guys are going to react. Not everybody's going to respond to you like the fucking dude on the YouTube video. Now that everybody's going to tell you, all right, dude, hit me with a drop kick. They may tell you, okay, I'm going to take you down, and you're like, huh? And now you don't know how to react because you think you know. Because again, the fucking videos teach us everything. Which, if that was true, if that was really true, why are not how-to videos like the fucking most expensive things in the world? Okay, you teach me at home how to do this. Yeah, no, come on.
Yeah, and like I think even Punk talked about it. Like he was originally self-taught backyard wrestling, but he admits he learned a hell of a lot more from actually learning his craft.
Sorry. No. But yeah, no, he was who did he get trained under again? Do we remember? I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
I know he trained with Colt Cabana. I know he trained with Chris Hero, but who trained him?
I mean, he probably would have been like Ring of Honor. Ace Steel, Fit Finlay, Dave Taylor, William Regal. Jeez.
I mean, Can you get mad at that group of dudes right there? That's one hell of a group of dudes to be. Ace Steel sounds so familiar. Why do
He
you
looks
sound
familiar too. Who is he? He looks very, very familiar.
Oh, yes, he does. And he works. So he had a Ring of Honor run, a TNA run, a small WWE run for 3 years.
Ace Steel, previous ring names. Ace Steel, Chris Guy, Scott Colton, Donald Trump.
Get the fuck out of here.
Am I missing something?
I don't know. Yeah, he's just probably recognizable face being an extra.
Oh, there was an episode of Raw in 2007 where they did Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump.
And he was the Donald Trump.
He was Donald Trump.
That's terrible and hilarious at the same time. Fucking wow.
I was so disappointed it wasn't the real Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump.
And then that's right. Well, yeah, Dave Taylor and fucking and William Ringle, the Blue Bloods. God damn it.
Yeah, that's one hell of a. No wonder Punk was the best in the world.
There you go. Right. Learning from the best in the world.
Yeah, he didn't just learn from YouTube. Well, YouTube wasn't really a thing when Punk was still.
Internet videos were
up.
not a thing. They were like, we barely know what the internet is. That's for nerds.
Yahoo Video.
You're probably 100 on that one. Yahoo Video sounds about right. That or AOL.
Oh man, AOL.
Oh, we're dating the fuck out of ourselves right now, dude.
I'm getting grayer by the second.
Right.
Next up, we have Vince Licker model T87362. They just come on a production line.
Yep, I was gonna say production line.
So No DQ posted about Toni Storm recently opening up on her time in WWE and how they crushed her love for wrestling. This particular Vince Licker says, whatever, you guys can keep on putting out these hit pieces. People are not going to stop watching WWE and start watching AEW if they haven't already. Me personally, I would rather quit watching wrestling than watch AEW. Then quit, please. Just quit.
Then just quit. But I mean, that's we've said it now for the past couple of weeks. There is a force of habit in watching the E, and some people love pain in their life. Some people love anguish. More power to you.
Vince Lickers are masochists.
1,000%, dude. 1,000%. But it is what it is, dude. To each their own. If you really feel that strongly, it is what it is. But don't come to me and tell me you're excited about something that's more indie AEW style on a WWE thing and be like, oh, this was so innovative. Motherfucker, that's been a thing over here for a minute. But then again, I bet you this nerd is the same dude that was probably like, oh, well, you can have Stardust, and he's fucking literally singing that theme on the way to work. See, I can already picture him.
I used to love that song.
I don't mind it still. I mean, I'm not saying like I hate the fucking guy. I don't hate the guy. I'm actually loving his run. He's the only reason that's making me watch the E at all.
Yeah, he is redeeming himself. But again, why does it have to come down to you either watch WWE or you watch AEW? There doesn't need to be a choice. It doesn't need to be a loyalty. If you like wrestling, you like wrestling.
Oh, I mean, that's it. Yeah, you're just going to be like, maybe if you really wanted to say something negative, you could be like, you know what, AEW is just not my cup of tea. Okay, leave it at that. You may like wrestling. You may not like all wrestling. I remember when I hated like anything hardcore.
Yeah.
Now I fucking watch GCW shows.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too strong on death matches, but I like a good hardcore match.
They get cringy.
But that last part, like, I would rather quit watching wrestling than watch AEW. When you asked him about it, why would you not want to watch AEW? Oh, because I watched WWE. That's not a valid reason.
That's not a valid reason. I watch New Japan. Does that mean I also, I can't watch Impact?
Do you only watch Tom Cruise movies? You don't watch any other actors?
I still got to go see fucking Top Gun.
Yeah, me too. And I fucking work in the place.
Here's the problem, though. And I've already told my wife. I said, if I fucking go see Top Gun, I will be one of those fucking nerds that will like try to grow out his mustache, and then I'm rocking the stash. And she's like, please don't. I was like, come on. She's like, you will definitely look the definition of like a Sanchez or like a Juan or whatever. I'm like, fuck you.
I have heard nothing but good things, and it's very rare these days for a legacy sequel to be this good, apparently.
Right? And I'm not even a Tom Cruise guy like that.
But yeah, short and sweet this week. These are marks, and that's the shit they say.
Fucking nerds.
So let's get in. We've already touched on it a little bit. Let's get into this week's stories. So news broke on Sunday that Cody had torn his pec completely off the bone. Completely. But that he was still going to wrestle that night. Now, Mr. Pessimistic over here thought, no way. You don't just decide to wrestle anyway with a torn pec. It doesn't happen. I'm sure that's not even legal.
Right.
But there's me just thinking, surely if this is legit, WWE wouldn't clear him to compete, especially in a Hell in a Cell match. But they did, and he did. And the evidence was crystal clear. He definitely torn his pec, and he was in pain that entire match. I still just can't really wrap my head around how and why he was able to compete. Like, why would they let him compete with a torn pec?
So my guess is because it was completely torn off the bone, he wasn't going to do any more damage. Now, the other thing I found out, because I had to do research, I love this. I listened to my favorite word. There is a pec major and a pec minor. If you tear your pec minor, it really does not affect you in any way. I mean, it'll be fucking painful as shit. Don't get me, obviously, but it like, you're not gonna like fucking ruin yourself. If he did his major, oh yeah, you're fucking done, pal. You ain't doing jack. So he tore his pec minor, and it came completely off the bone. They did a quick MRI. Realized that if you really want to do this, you're not going to put yourself in any real damage and any real danger to fucking further damage yourself. So I'm sure they turn around and maybe just said, here's a handful of bullshit, or shot him up with a bunch of crap. And just to help him. And if you watch the match, and it was great. I mean, I know some E dudes that are calling it 5+ stars and this and this. You know what, dude? I said, if it's that high on a list, I'll give it a shot. And TSK ran it. I think we even gave it like a 4.5. We really enjoyed it. It was a fun watch. Very compelling story, which is something Cody does excellently. He's a storyteller. He is an old school storyteller. And that's something that I hope these E fans see and get used to, because that's what real pro wrestling is, a true in-ring story. But it was, if you also pay attention to the match, they did all of one spot to his arm, which I still, like, I jumped out of my fucking seat. Like, why would you even do that one spot? Like, why? And then of all things, you like rammed a chair into his side? No, fuck off. Yeah. Like, I'm kicking you in the balls for real.
And the kendo stick.
Heck. No, I was just like, bro, if like you even breathe on his arm, I'm going to fucking fall in my own pain. Okay. Like, It was so bad.
So he wasn't going to do any more damage. He was going to be out for 6 months for surgery and rehab. Either way, no matter whether he competed or not, that was inevitable. So the crazy thing is, he didn't need an excuse for time off after that match. They were open and honest about it. He's torn his pec. He still wrestled the match. You could see he's injured. We would have understood if that was the last time we saw him for a few months while he got surgery. But he goes on the next night and gets attacked to be written off TV. You didn't need to be written off TV. We know.
Like, bro, your injury angle was visible as fuck, my guy.
Jeez. Talk about going all in.
I mean, this is the one thing that we're getting from Cody that you wouldn't be getting from really anybody else in the fucking E. He's gonna give you. I don't understand the segment why he was there on Raw. But whatever.
I don't think anybody would have watched Raw if he wasn't there and thought, why is Cody not there?
No. Nah. They'd be like, I hope he's got some fucking ice on that goddamn thing. Shit.
But yeah, I guess that also means the Seth Cody feud is not over. So when Cody does come back, I mean, I'm predicting, bold prediction, which is probably the most common prediction too. We see Cody back at the Rumble, and he either costs Seth the match or eliminates Seth in some way. We'll probably get another match before Mania, and then Cody main events Mania.
That's how they do it. They do love to oh, let's fucking do an angle at main at the goddamn Rumble. It's like, why?
Yeah,
Like,
you're injured in the summer. Rumble.
Rumble. That's your epic comeback, pal.
This does, of course, kind of backs into a corner because we're thinking Cody's going to be the one to dethrone Roman. But if we're waiting till Mania now, what happens to Roman and The Rock? If that is even the plan.
Yeah,
That's just a very heavy rumor, and it has been for a couple of years.
More than a couple of years. It's
Well,
been
yeah,
a
ever since
rumor
they announced Hollywood.
Yeah, and how long are we on? Like almost fucking 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be in Hollywood this year, wasn't it? And then they moved it to next year.
So yeah, it's been like a fucking 4-year goddamn build in the shadows even. But then again, like it's also like something that they've been playing up to, like at least to my acknowledgement. I'm not acknowledging, but you know what I mean. It's been so fucking played up to and like fucked around and the whole 9 yards and the mic bumps and. Yeah. I feel like you fucking have to deliver on this right now. Do you really need Cody to have a fucking Mania, big ass Mania? I mean, maybe you do. But then again, we're in Hollywood and you're telling me you have an opportunity to bring in The Rock, who was probably the most, was he or was, he was one of your biggest stars, if not the biggest. You know what I mean? I really want to be like definitive, but I can't. And you know why? It's too many. But like, I don't think they're going to pass that opportunity up, especially now that he's an even gigantic or mega star.
Oh, yeah. By far, he's the most successful wrestler turned actor ever.
1,000,000%.
And he's like he's gone from like professional wrestler to one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
If not the.
Who is constantly in a jungle.
Yeah, dude, get out of the jungle, bruv. Like, come on, man.
Dwayne loves the jungle.
Loves the jungle. And he's like, it brings me back to my roots back when I was Rocky Maivia. Which, by the way, I get to saw a fucking picture of that guy in fucking retro this week.
And you know what? Dwayne making Black Adam is probably the only reason that Channing Tatum got the movie with Sandra Bullock in the jungle.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's another thing. Apparently his schedule is pretty clear next year for Mania season.
Yeah, he's getting this big movie out of the way. This is the big movie that he's been wanting to do.
So all the pieces of the puzzle are in place. We just need to see if WWE is actually going to pull the trigger. There was a lot of P's in that sentence.
That's how you would want it to
be. Let's stick with WWE. So Finn Balor turned heel. Edge is kicked out of House of Purple, a.k.a. the Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, nobody saw it coming, but I think it's way too soon to break up the group.
Do you know why?
Well, yeah, now we know why. Edge didn't want to go supernatural. WWE did. But, like, even the excuse they made on TV makes no sense. He was holding them back. He made them more relevant. They've only been a trio for a few weeks, and they won their first pay-per-view as a trio. Yep. How the hell was he holding them back?
I don't know. I can only imagine like how that meeting went. He's like, "Hey, so Edge, we're gonna have to do this supernatural thing." And boss, I told you I don't want no part of that. Okay, get the fuck out. What? You fucking heard me. Somebody call Finn. And just boom, there it goes. Just like that, Jack. Because you don't want to do it, get the fuck out, and this guy will do it. Which is, I guess, okay. It's like, yeah, it's so, even like, because I'm with you. Like, I liked them as a trio. I wasn't even, Judgment Day is still the worst fucking name ever. But I was liking this. And you literally didn't go a month. Like, you need to give us something to fucking chew on, bud. Like, you literally, like, what it is in this instance is like, we just got our appetizer, and now, bam, here's fucking dessert. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
And they align with one of the guys that they beat.
Mm-hmm. Weird. Fucking weird.
It don't make no sense, but I compared it to Seth turning on the Shield. Because even though that was a huge moment and nobody's ever going to forget about it, again, it kind of didn't make much sense because they just beat Evolution the night before. They were unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Seth
Yeah, they
really
really
had
were.
no reason to like turn on the Shield, join Triple H, other than maybe he wants to be a world champion. But you probably could have done that as part of the Shield.
Yeah, that could have been the thing. But yeah, no, shock factor for sure. But I mean, I don't know if it was like a good shock factor in this instance, as more of a just like a why. But
Yeah, like my reaction was, "What the fuck?"
that was most people's reaction, even mine from afar. Like why? But okay, I figured that just meant fucking maybe Edge is hurt. I was like, he's hurt. Kick him out of the group.
I love how all the reports came that they've moved him to the babyface side of the Raw roster. I didn't even know there was two separate rosters.
Oh yeah, you guys over here and you guys over here.
You're the good guys. You're the bad guys.
But I was a bad guy. Lad, you go over there.
You get in the Scott Hall section.
Oh, yeah, I love it. But you know, that's what I'm hearing as well. It's because of Cody going down and them just having a lack of stars, and apparently Roman's not even going to be on TV until fucking July.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing, and then he's not coming back to pay-per-views until whatever pay-per-view comes at the end of July.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. So that's the only time he's scheduled to come back. So they're desperate for fucking stars. That's why I'm sure Bobby Lashley's getting a push. He's gonna, become a big name for a minute. I'm sure they're gonna try to have Edge go face again.
We still got AJ too.
Still got AJ. Fucking.
That's another thing. Yeah, I was liking the pairing of AJ and Finn. Two former Bullet Club leaders.
Like they are literally like putting together cool little teams, and then just like, you know what? What about you? Okay, well then you, and we're just gonna take you out of this. Okay, there we go. We like this now. Like, what the fuck?
It's almost like they're making it up as they go along.
Oh, you mean those rumors of Vince McMahon tearing up the whole entire fucking story at 12:30 and rewriting it by 4:30 is not fucking false?
I'm sure he does that every week.
I would be so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking week you show up, you're like, all right, cool. I bet you I know what I'm doing this week. And you go and you're like, literally as you get out of your car, you're like, all right, cool. Match with such and such. Sweet. All right. You go get ready. And you go in the back and maybe you eat real fast and you get a little pump in and all of a sudden you go back and the whole fucking thing is white, Jack. It's fucking blank. And you're like, what happened to my segment? You're like, oh, don't worry, we'll get you back. 5-10 hits and you still don't have a segment and you fucking got all hot and sweaty and oiled yourself up and you're walking around in your gear to be told you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, that's literally life on Monday Night Raw. Maybe even SmackDown too.
I would be so pissed.
And then there's some people that are just like, but they pay you well, so shut up and take it.
Okay, I mean, but see, there's the difference of the mentality though. As you and me are like, I would rather just not. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I want to make money and do nothing? Absolutely. Like, that sounds like everybody in America. We want to do nothing and gets paid for it. But it's the truth, especially in my instance. I've fucking worked hard enough, damn it. I want to go to fucking school and finish. Like, let me sit at home for 2 years and get this degree, and then I'll fucking go back to the working world. But that's it's the mentality, It's you got to work. God damn it.
Yeah. And if it's something like wrestling, which you have probably spent your life like perfecting, it's your passion. Why would you want to get paid to just sit and do nothing?
And why are you like, you're really excited? Okay, I don't care how big my bank account looks. You're telling me that you went out there for 17, 18 years, wrestled this fucking thing just to get here to sit in the back with the Miz eating Pizza Hut wings because you're not on this week.
Yeah.
And you weren't on last week. And you weren't on the pay-per-view. But you're the IC champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It like this, we do this for free, but if somebody paid me to never do it again, nah. I like doing this.
Exactly. It's about the passion. If you ain't gonna use me, don't waste my time.
Right. Let me go somebody that will use me.
Exactly. Utilize my time.
All right. 2 big stories from WWE. That's about it, really. CM Punk's world title celebrations are cut short. Very, very short. We were here celebrating last Thursday, and then of course Friday he made the announcement. He didn't say
quick.
exactly what he broke, but I assumed it was his foot. But
The rumor is he broke his foot.
But then JR was like he had surgery on his lower leg. So I'm like, what did he actually break?
So that's what I don't know. I'm thinking, I thought worst case scenario, he tore his ACL or his MCL.
That would have been really bad.
You know, he fucked up a knee ligament. They're saying it's a broken foot. Now I don't. If that's true, would he really be walking on it?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I know it's not an Achilles tear because that's like a year out. I'm still thinking it's something in his knee. I'm still thinking it's a knee thing, but it's one that's not super fucking serious. That like he's able, because like you can walk on a torn ACL, you can even walk on a torn MCL. You know, it's very uncomfortable, but you can do it. Now, the length of the surgery time, the length of the recovery times on those are normally a little bit different. You know what I mean? Your MCL is more of a major ligament, so that's like a 9 to a year, and an
Yeah, we see that a lot.
ACLs are normal. Like I've seen guys come back from ACL tears in like 4 months. So I'm personally, and this, you know, I know nothing. I'm saying this is an ACL injury, and he got surgery on it. According to them, it was a successful surgery, and he's already going to be starting rehab.
Yeah. Like best case scenario, he'll be back in a few weeks.
Yep, walking and talking maybe.
We got Forbidden Door the end of this month. I think the next pay-per-view after that is in September, so plenty of time to come back and have the unification match.
Oh yeah, plenty of it. But then that's the whole thing. You know, how are they playing this unification role? Yeah, do they want? Is he really going to be out? You know, how long is he really going to be out? I'm thinking they may try to save him all the way up, maybe till like November, December. But then again, in my mind, I've fantasy booked the crap out of this thing about 4 different times. So, but it honestly, right now, my favorite one is we're getting Cena Hashi versus CM Punk, which is basically Cena Punk, at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah,
for the AEW World Title.
Like, my initial reaction was great. We're gonna get a repeat of when Punk returned as champion to confront Cena as champion, and it's gonna be like a mirror image. But I don't know if he's gonna be. I mean, if he's walking, then he'll be back in time for Forbidden Door to do that. He doesn't have to take a bump.
Well, that's the thing. You don't even have to picture that Forbidden Door. Like, my thing is the way I'm spinning this is you have Tanahashi be your champ for a while. Tanahashi's has done stints in the States before, and I don't think he would have an issue hanging out in the US for, you know, call it 10 weeks, you know, from fucking, you know, just from like here to like August, you know what I mean? Or, you know, like the beginning of whenever the beginning of the G1 is, which I think is like the end of July.
Yeah, I know
so
it's after Love Island, so it's our reward for putting up with that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So he wins the belt, hangs out for maybe call it 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And then not the IWGP, the AEW World Champion is now in a grueling G1 Climax tournament along with some other AEW guys. That's why he's not defending the AEW World Championship, putting more focus on the TNT title, this new Atlantic title, which I'll get into, by the way. Love the design. Can't stand the name, but I'll talk about that why. You know, but all these other belts, like, they have a shit ton. But when you take away the big AEW title and you put it on a guy who's doing work somewhere else, you can focus everything else. You can make giant stars with these so-called mid-card titles. And I think that if you do it right, it'll work out perfectly. Now, I mean, you can always have the thing where it's just Moxley there and he's the champ and, oh, I'm the real champ, and we get Mox and Cena and Mox and Punk, but I'm like, I don't know. When the idea of Wrestle Kingdom and Punk and Tanahashi came in, I said, if you're going to do it, you got to do it all the fuck out. And the last time an outside championship was defended, at a Wrestle Kingdom was the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's actually Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
That's right. No, Ring of Honor. So I mean, that's I don't know. I like that idea, but then again, I don't know how TK feels. I don't know how the Thunder Snow's hitting this week. Can't gauge it.
No, either way. So we know we're going to get Mox. He beat Kyle O'Reilly last night. First
and then we
off,
got Hiroki Goto and Tanahashi at Dominion, which, by the way, was a thrown together match. They had no idea. TK called fucking Gato and was like, "Hey, bro, we need to figure something out."
Because I was looking at the bracket and thinking, wait a minute, I thought Tanahashi was already a shoo-in for it, but okay.
That's what I thought too, but apparently the match was originally supposed to be, AEW World Championship, Punk and Tanahashi. But when when Punk got hurt, they're like, well, what do we do? What are we doing? And so now they're making it, since they're making it an interim tournament, now Tanahashi's a part of it. Well, who are you going to face to make this a compelling story? And there were so many people, and I was one of them. I was like, fucking Hiroki Goto, really? Like, you couldn't have done Ishii, you couldn't have done Suzuki, you couldn't have done, all these other dudes. And I guess there's a reasoning for it, and I don't know what it is yet. Probably because those guys are all going to have matches at Forbidden Door. I don't know. So we will see.
The Battle Royal was fun.
It was.
Kyle O'Reilly looked great coming out of it as a winner.
I don't know if I've ever seen a 4-star Battle Royal, but that's what that was. Easily 4 stars. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah. There was a couple of teases too. Particularly with the big guys, Keith Lee and Big Lance.
Oh, hoss me down. I can feel the apartment shaking now.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying Keith Lee and Swerve as a tag team, but there was a brief moment where I thought maybe Keith was going to shove him out, but no, he was a loyal tag team partner.
I still think that they're going to remain good tag partners, but yeah, there's going to be some inner animosity for a little bit, but that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, the All Atlantic Championship has been announced. Very unexpected, very left field. My little gripe of it is obviously it's All Atlantic, which is basically US and Europe. Yeah, you got Japan being represented. Is that not the Pacific?
That is the Pacific. That was my number one gripe of this title. I'm like, you do know that Japan's in the Pacific Ocean, right? And they're like, Atlantic, because of Mid-Atlantic. And I'm like, I understand, Tony. I get it. But you might as well have just called it the international title. Because that's the concept behind this. Is they want a belt that's going to be able to travel. So, But the thing that also kills me is it's fucking 4 qualifying matches and then a 4-way. So it's basically the same exact way that they did the King of Pro Wrestling trophy in New Japan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever.
I always like the idea of an international title where you have a 4-way of multiple nationalities all representing one country.
That's what it looks like they're going to do.
So the tournament we've got, Pac just beat Buddy Matthews representing the UK. We got Ethan Page representing Canada up against Miro representing Bulgaria. Penta, obviously representing Mexico. Malachi Black representing the Netherlands. And then we got 2 guys from New Japan.
Which I have heard of nothing yet. Granted, I did not finish my episode with Dave and stuff, so...
Yeah, no,
I'm sure
nothing
they've
on the
decided.
bracket's just a logo.
Somebody, who was that? Somebody fucking around, and they're like, if Jay White loses, this is his way in. But I'm like, I have a funny feeling they're gonna hold this match at Dominion as well. So
yeah,
we'll see.
That could work, because then of course the finals at Forbidden Door.
So let's see, Mid-Atlantic. Let's think of 2 guys that would travel freely, and the first 2 that come to mind are Suzuki and Ishii. They would travel without question. Maybe you get some fucking LA Dojo guys. I mean, it said New Japan. It didn't have to say from where.
Yeah.
So.
But Jay White would work. I mean, we've already had Buddy from Australia, but Jay White's New Zealand. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, they're a little different. Don't confuse them because they'll get mad at you.
Yeah, the accents are very similar, but they're also very different. But yeah, I like the title too. I like AEW going the like old school route with their titles. They
Yes.
like the old school titles. So when I saw this one, I instantly thought that's very similar to the Owen Hart belts, which
Mhm.
are also like throwbacks to like the Mid Atlantic days.
I believe it was what belt was that? It was like a replica of like an old NWA belt.
Really old, yeah.
Yeah.
The territory days, I should have said.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, the territory days.
But speaking of titles, Wardlow wants the TNT title. He said he didn't want to be in the Battle Royal because he wants to face Punk at 100%, which I love.
Yeah,
Like,
great line.
I want to face the real champ, but he's injured, so I'm gonna wait and go for a different title. I like that.
Makes perfect sense, but then he says like, this belt's been diminished, and I'm like, yeah, Scorpio hasn't done that bad, but okay, I guess. But I know he's more referring about like what Sammy and all that shit.
Yeah,
But I felt like it was a total
it.
burial. Yeah.
Now
well.
the belt looks good on Scorpio. He's really coming to his own as a singles champion. But yeah, that feud with Sammy and Ty sucked.
Big time.
And now all of a sudden, American Top Team are heels again.
Oh yeah, 1 week later.
They were faces by default because of Sammy and Ty.
Yeah, because the people wanted to hate Sammy and Ty.
So that should be good. Wardlow going for the TNT title, and I would not be disappointed at all if he won it.
No means at all. It'd be awesome.
And then we get Will Ospreay making his debut with
my
United
God,
Empire.
that boy Billy.
He looked very different. I don't know what it was about him, but he looked different.
I don't
but
know
anyway,
if you've seen him since he's packed on some serious weight.
That's probably what it was. He
is packed on. I remember watching little old Billy Ospreay, little skinny feller. And then this guy during COVID said, watch me get gigantic. And fucking boy, did he ever. He got heavyweight status for sure. And he looks awesome. And yeah, when he came out, that was a giant pop. There was a lot of people that recognized him. Some of them were like, who? They're like, fucking Will Ospreay. They're like, I don't know, but I'm cheering anyway. Aaron Horarne, glad to see he came with them. That was the brown dude in the suit with the great mustache. And then Aussie Open. If you have never heard of Aussie Open, I need you to Google them, and I need you to watch anything from them. And that's not a joke. I had no idea who these guys were. They did a New Japan Strong show and fucking blew my mind. These guys are so fucking good. I'm like, where the fuck have you guys been? Oh, they've been killing it up in Australia. Well, I don't fucking know nothing about it, Jack.
I don't think anybody knows anything about Australian wrestling.
Exactly. And then I fucking see them in New Japan, and these guys are fucking killing it. This is an excellent team. Now, it makes me worry, however, of what match we might get at Forbidden Door. Now, I was originally thinking we were going to get FTR versus the Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, hoping that Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan would win the tag titles this weekend. If they did, you can have the Ring of Honor versus the IWGP tag titles, winner take all. And then that, could mean great things for FTR, meaning FTR going to Japan and putting on bangers with fucking great tag team after great tag team, considering that their World Tag League is also going to be starting soon.
Yeah.
Or you have a reason for the Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb to hang out in the States. Like, where is there a loss? But we may also go 10-man at this point. Considering there's Billy Ospreay, there's Aussie Open, you know what I mean? They may just make it one of the multi-mans and say, well, let's get everybody in here. But I would love the tag. I would much rather the tag.
If there's one thing TK and Vince have in common, they love big tag matches.
Oh, yeah. The tags.
But yeah, Will did get a very big pop and a genuine oh my god from the commentary team.
Mm-hmm. And a holy shit.
And of course, a holy shit. Also on the topic of Forbidden Door, Hangman also wasn't in the Battle Royal. It was his first appearance since losing the title. But he wants a different title. He wants to go after the IWGP title. He wants Okada. Of course, Adam Cole was there to step in and say, "Wait a minute, what about Jay White?"
Yeah, you have to play that whole thing into notion. Now, with that, and as much as I know I will get some heat for this, who's a bigger name, Jay White or Kazuchika Okada?
I literally popped just because Hangman said the word Okada on Dynamite.
And trust me, we all did. We were quite literally screaming in the TSK. I had to stand up and stand over there and yell because I was a fear of like breaking eardrums and such. The name Okada alone literally just rings in a wrestling fan's ear and their mind goes a million miles an hour. For those that know him, for those that don't, it still rings in their ear. Who is this guy? I've heard this name. Who is this guy? We've seen Jay White. We know what he can do. And yes, he single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. I'll fight you to that one. That's great. I love it. But this is bigger. This is more. Okay? And it has to be Okada. So it's probably going to be Okada, Hangman, and Adam Cole, three-way super banger. Okada's still going to win.
Okada is very much final boss.
1,000%. 1,000. He is the good-looking Bowser. That's what he is.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure he got a huge pop too.
Oh,
just with his name being mentioned.
Oh yeah, he's just like, oh, people are fucking, oh yeah, all the Japanese fans at home. Fuck yeah. Because that's the great thing too for those of you who are still downplaying everything that AEW is doing. They're literally streaming Dynamite and Rampage into Japan now.
Yeah,
because of all of the Japanese talent they're starting to use. It's great,
but it's not that big of a deal,
right? It's never a big deal. When the E does it, then it was just win fucking gargantuan.
Yeah, wait up.
It's
Raw,
the test
Raw's
foil
New Japan World. What?
What's the New Japan World? But again, what was it 2-3 years ago when B-Dry was trying to stay and they were like going to work out a deal? Oh, this is going to be gigantic.
Yeah. Didn't happen.
And all those pictures of fucking Vince and like Jushin Liger came out.
Oh, look, Vince worked with New Japan once. Right.
Oh, what a mark. I'm just kidding.
In the 80s.
In the
90s, early 90s.
I think it's like 90, 91, something like that.
That's when Vince actually liked working with other promotions. So that's when he admitted the existence of other promotions.
That's when he knew what wrestling was outside of the WWF.
Yeah, it's sad what happens when you get older. So moving on, AEW are pretty much trying to kill Jeff Hardy.
I think, yeah. That's my only guess at this point.
Like, I know he agreed. It may even have been his and Matt's idea, but just the look on his face when Christian said ladder match, Jeff's like, here we go again.
Like, bro, come on. Like, I just got off a 2-week break, and you want me to what? And he's already telling himself, okay, well, we got to jump off a 20-footer. And Matt's like telling him, no, you don't. I'm fucking Jeff Hardy. If I don't jump off a 20-foot ladder, somebody's going to get mad. Well, I don't give a shit. Yeah. I do, Matt. I do. I can already see it.
Literally, I'm Jeff Hardy. I cannot have a ladder match and not jump off a 20-footer.
They will take my contract away.
I'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
I'll never. They'll never put me there.
But providing he's got plenty of experience. Providing he takes the bump safely, it should be a crazy match. Jurassic Express, Young Bucks, and the Hardys, in a freeway ladder match. Guessing this is where Christian turns heel. Like, it's much easier to just shove a ladder.
Yeah, big time. Now this is where I go back and forth, because is TK actually considering pulling the triggers on giving the Hardys the titles, or is this an easy way to get the Bucks the belts? And as much as I want to say it's that, I really, really think it's going to go the other way, and I don't like that, and I'm not going to be happy if it happens. I don't think these guys need a tag title run. The Hardys do not need a tag title run. In my opinion, you need to get their fucking dream matches out of the way, and they need to be gone before Christmas. And that is my own personal opinion. I'm sorry if you guys love them. I don't give a shit if they got a 3-year contract. I do not need to see the Hardys in such a capacity anymore. It is done. The nostalgia feel is gone. I mean, and again, I was a dude that was at the LA Forum who did not pop for the Hardy music, did not pop for anything Matt did, and did not chant delete. So again, I'm not about any of this. I'm over it. Get it off my television.
There you go. I mean, you got me on the flip side, but I will say, as much as they don't need another tag title run. But it would be kind of nice if they like have a full set. But that's just it.
See, there you go. But see, that's the great thing is you can see it in a different light. I would love to hear Trav's idea of this. He's a fucking giant Hardy fan. Sleeps with the Jeff emblem and got his thing tattooed and the autograph tattooed, and he had sex with Jeff once, and you know,
on a 20-foot ladder.
On a 20-foot ladder, because that's how Jeff gets down.
Yeah, I'm pretty much divided. Yes, I'm a Hardy Boys mark. Always have been, always will be, but
you're also a little bit of a realist.
Yeah. Surely it's getting close to the end. Jeff's getting more and more banged up.
By the week, man. By the week. This dude got hurt in a regular tag match with the Bucks. Had to sit out the next week where his, brother came out instead, and so he couldn't do anything that week. Didn't do anything this week. So it's like, and then you're just bam, here fucking ladder match, because that's the only thing we see you in ladder matches, and that's the only thing that works. It's like, yeah, they, like as you said when you started this whole thing, they want to kill Jeff. They're like, will he die this week? Who knows? Tune in next week to see the exciting conclusion.
I mean, I hope he doesn't.
No, please don't die. I don't need to see you die. I would much appreciate it if you just like gracefully bowed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of the pancake swanton. I know he does it to protect his back now, but it just looks.
I mean,
so
he got
awkward.
one good one off.
Yeah, when he first debuted, he hit a beautiful swanton.
Yeah.
And then he went back to the pancake.
And then the pancaking.
The pancake bomb.
The pancake bomb. I love it.
Also, final bit from AEW, they teased Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. Loved it. Loved it.
I mean, if that's your next way to go, if that's your way to get the belt off of her, go for it. I mean,
yeah, that's what I love about it. I want to see the belt on Tony.
That's been the thing. She is again, Thunder Rosa's gotten the Hangman treatment, and she's gotten stale rather fast, and it's time to move on. Tony Storm is a great candidate. I think that would work out perfectly. But can we fucking get her moving there, bud? You know what I mean? I need to get this going, because the reality is you give Tony Storm that belt, you open up all these feuds. You got Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, Britt Baker again, Tony Storm, Serena Deeb, because you got worker versus worker. That's the thing. Tony Storm is one of the better women's workers. Giving someone the recognition of the world title, allowing them to hopefully carry some of this other division would be cool. I don't know. I'm waiting for like Britt and Jade. Like that's what I'm waiting on now. Yeah. Britt and Jade.
I mean, they're also like pushing Marina Shafir as a little bit more of a
dude. That was the longest match I've ever seen her in.
Right. But the only thing that annoyed me is, like, obviously she lost pretty clean, and then her killer instinct kicked in, and she like started choking out Thunder Rosa. Like, where was that aggression in the match? You're like, Seriously? You're a former fucking MMA fighter.
Yeah. At one point signed to the UFC. Never fought, but signed.
Better than Punk. But...
Hey, there you go. There's a W somewhere. There's always a silver lining.
Cause I'm sick of getting up and getting going south. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a freak like me.
is the ending. It's the most important part of the story, the ending. And this one is very good.
On this show, we tell stories verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually. But at the end of the day, there's beginnings, there's middles, and there's endings. And sometimes we have to rewrite our own ending. Through obstacles, through challenges, we adapt, we grow, we evolve. But most importantly, we learn. Hell, we even take it to the max. Or do we? Now, I know what you're thinking. Mike, where are you going with this? You'll see where I'm going with it.
Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. If we've made you laugh, cry, or pissed you off, please hit the sub or follow button, because we're here every Thursday.
Goddamn right.
Time now for a brand new segment, and one that you can play along to, people. It may become one of our favorite segments. It's time for Guess the Wrestler.
Oh, shit.
I wonder who this could possibly be.
Guess the wrestler.
He's the wrestler, better than all the wrestler.
He'll rule that ass.
Gotta love, that's the greatest thing ever. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
I
I had so much fun singing that too. I don't. It was so much fun.
We will attest on this show every single week. Ready to Rumble is one of the greatest movies ever.
If you disagree, then you got a problem, Jack.
If you disagree, you don't really like wrestling as much as you think you do.
Mm-hmm. That was a fucking classic.
So, what are we going to do? 1 minute on the clock?
1 minute, that's what I got right here. 1 minute, guess the wrestler.
Let's set one rule, too. So if I ask if it's a current champion, we cannot ask which specific championship it is, because obviously that'll give it away.
Yeah, current,
right.
Active, you know, the whole gimmicks. All right, you
All
ready?
right, then. Let's go.
All right, and your time starts now.
All right, WWE or AEW?
WWE.
Male or female?
Male.
Raw or SmackDown? I don't know. Doesn't matter
was-
anymore.
He was Raw.
So currently active?
No.
Okay. Active in the Ruthless Aggression era?
No.
Former world champion?
Yes.
Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Oh. Was he part of a stable?
No.
Okay. Main event in WrestleMania?
Yes. 15 seconds.
Damn. Shit, who's in the Hall of Fame that's main event in WrestleMania and isn't active anymore? Oh, shit. Kurt Angle?
No.
Damn.
That's time, but I want to give you an extra 30, and I want to give you this fun clue. He was one of the first to move to WCW. 30 seconds.
Oh, Brett.
No.
Scott Hall.
No.
Kevin Nash. No. Goldberg. No, he started in WCW. What the fuck am I talking about? Savage. No, he wouldn't have been on Raw.
Nope. You're right.
Oh.
It was Macho Man Randy Savage.
I guess, yeah, there wasn't a SmackDown back then, so he had to be Raw.
He was Raw. He was pretty much Raw. And what was it? Superstars back then. Main evented WrestleMania. I believe it was 4.
Yes.
So, yep. Good try. See, that's the thing. See, that's the great thing about this whole thing is it's going to literally make you go down every fucking archived file in your head of who you might have.
And every tunnel was just pitch black.
That's the
Where
problem.
the fuck am I going next?
Where am I going now? You're literally throwing a rock down a tunnel and hoping for the best.
Okay. We have another new segment now, and it's time to switch to your telecommunications machine because we're about to ask TikTok. This is Later Talk Down.
You told the AEW guys to stay away. I don't play that game. So let's get into why.
So, first of all, we want to know, first question for the TikTokers, should Cody have wrestled with a torn pec? Was it a good decision or a bad decision? Did it look good for WWE or bad for WWE? Let us know in the responses, comments,
That's right.
whatever.
Stitch, comment, duet. You guys know the gimmick. Hit it all down there below. Make sure you tag Max Wrestling. Let us know your answers. Was he foolish for getting in the ring with a torn bicep?
Fool of a tuck. Next question. Who should become the AEW Interim World Champion at Forbidden Door? We know Mox is an option. We know Tanahashi or Goto is an option. Who's it going to be? Who would you rather it be? And then, of course, you have to think about who's going to go up against Punk when he comes back. So who do you think should be the Interim World Champion? And even then, should that person beat Punk? Or should Punk continue his reign? There's a lot of avenues in that one.
And should Punk become the first ever two-time AEW champ?
That would be cool. Well, he or Mox could be.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mole.
And final question. Was kicking Edge out of the Judgment Day the right call? Or was it way too soon? Did it make no sense? Did it make you question your mortality? Let us know. Those are the questions we want answered. Repost, stitch, duet, whatever the hell it is you kids do. And let us know. We'll get back to you on the show next week. And if you're very lucky, Moses will get back to you on the app during the week.
Fucking A, right. Get them comments going.
So Later Talk Down. We'll see how it goes next week. All right. We're not going to take you through history this week because we wanted to see how long the new segments would take us. And turns out not very long. However, Moses will be taking you on a rewind in just a little bit.
Okay.
But first, coming up on July 14th, the next Max Wrestling event and the first new event since 2018, it's time to fight for the knowledge. The new Knowledge Champion Travis Walker Anderson will defend his title in old school full trivia mayhem. Who is walking into Promo Slam to defend the title against the Phoenix? Plus, Travis has all the gold. The television championship will also be on the line. That is also over the shoulder of Travis. His opponent will be the winner of the first ever Ring of Games Cup after 4 consecutive weeks of mini Ring of Games, which begins next week.
Next week.
And finally, as I prepare to defend the World Championship against Travis at Promo Slam, we will hear from the Jester. Always unexpected. For more information, go to maxwrestling.net/fight.
Fight for the knowledge.
I just got that. Shout at the devil.
You're welcome.
I like it. Love it. All right. Now, kind of a new segment. It's just not NXT anymore. It's the A2B of Retro Rewind.
SMR Podcast Network. You should be listening.
That's right. The name is catchy. All right. So to quickly jump into this one, if you guys are following along, Retro Rewind is back. However, this one's going to be kind of different. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to give you highlights of the episode that is going to drop rather than highlights of an episode that has already dropped. So that way, if you're listening along, you're not just like, oh, here we go, skip. Nope. This is a reason for you to listen in next week. So for those listening next week, we are on episode 59 of Retro Rewind, which is October 28th, 1996 for both WWF Monday Night Nitro and WCW's Monday Night Raw. Very quickly for Monday Night Raw, we get to see some, and this is the problem with goddamn retro shows, and it's these fucking gimmick nerds. I have no idea who Salvatore Sincere is. All I know is when Jesse James, fucking Road Dogg, is Double J looking exactly like Jeff Jarrett goes out there to wrestle you. It's a weird one, and by God was it weird. We also had a back and forth segment between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. Steve Austin being in studio, Bret Hart being at home in Calgary. I will just say that this is the week before Steve Austin goes to Brian Pillman's house and we start the Attitude Era. So I will mention for this one, my wrestler of the week, believe it or not, coming out of left goddamn field, it was Crush for WWF, for the WWF side. So he was the nominee. As for those who know, there is a poll up, or there's a poll that's going to go up on the RWT and up on Twitter for those to pick wrestler of the week. I have 3 candidates this week. For WWF, there was only one, and it was actually there's 2. It's Crush and it's HBK, which nobody should be shocked because HBK and British Bulldog had a banger in the main event, which that just seems to be a thing for Raw back in the day. It was a 1-match show. You went out there, you told a bunch of bullshit stories, you had a couple of crappy matches, and then you had one pay-per-view-ish one.
Yeah.
Then you had episode 59 for WCW's Monday Night Nitro from Phoenix, Arizona. Started off pretty okay. Juventud Guerrero, Lord Steven Regal gave that 3. Gave that a quarter. Was that 1 3/4 quarter? This match was actually really good. Diamond Dallas Page, Mike Enos gave it 3.5. Mike Enos is a dude that randomly knows how to work really well. And when he does and turns it on, he turns it on well, and it's awesome. Jeff Jarrett and Ricky Morton had a decent match, not too bad. Jeff Jarrett, ever since showing up in fucking WCW, I swear to God, his promo skills have gone down. He fumbles and bumbles 1 line a week. That's a guarantee. 1 line a week. This dude by the name of Jimmy Graffiti, for those who are willing to go back in the day and check out a guy by the name of Jimmy Graffiti, is an excellent white dude that can work lucha like nobody's business. He went up against Rey Mysterio, had a good 3-star match. However, this guy would not stop awkwardly staring into the hard cam, so it got weird. Speaking of got weird, there was a match between Benoit and Guerrero, which you would immediately think is like 4.5, 5 stars. These dudes were so fucking beat up from the pay-per-view the night before. They both came out taped up. Apparently, Benoit had a separated shoulder. They would hit each other and sell for 4 minutes. And then hit each other and sell again for 4 more minutes. And I'm just like, I can't watch this. Like, you know what I mean? It was bad. You had Booker T, Lex Luger. It was fine. I gave it 2 3/4. It was, both shows worth 1 thumb up. They were worth, it's my review for these are worth it. I do talk some serious shit about Steve Austin and how he's ripping Vince McMahon a new one, dropping the whole behind the curtain of, we know Gorilla Monsoon's not in charge, you are, so when are you going to do something about my attitude that you don't like so much? You had that, and then of course for WCW side, you got a whole hell of a lot of the NWO. The NWO was all over, especially the ending of this one. We got a repeated segment from Roddy Piper's debut from last weekend's Halloween Havoc, and they replayed the entire segment when he came out and the whole everything. And then we ended up spending all of 7 or 8 minutes at the end of the show listening to Hogan pretty much lie about the interaction that we just watched on television, and then did a pose down for 5 minutes as the show cut off the air because it's Hulk Hogan. So, but that was Retro Rewind. I got to admit that I'm so fucking happy to be back doing these shows. Right now, my Wrestlers of the Week nominees are as follows for those who are listening. Again, Twitter, SMR Podnet, and if you're on the RWT Facebook page, there's another one, or it'll also be on the Max Wrestling Facebook page as well. The 3 Wrestlers of the Week candidates I have for you are Rey Mysterio, I'm sorry, the Giant, actually, for a promo he cut in the crowd. One of the best fucking promos I've ever heard the Giant cut, ever. Whoever wrote this for him should have wrote his fucking promos for the rest of his life. So the Giant for his promo in the crowd, DDP for his match against Mike Enos, even though I will totally give Mike Enos a nod. And there, of course, was HBK, and then what fucking nerd did I say? Oh, yeah, Crush.
Kona Crush.
Jesus Christ. When you mentioned Crush as Wrestler of the Week, it was a bad week in retro. But and like I tell y'all, it is a fun listen. We go back all the way. Like I said, we're in 96 We're in 96, where the gimmicks were the thing for WWF, and bringing in the cruiserweights was the thing for WCW. So if you like retro shows and you like podcasts where guys are screaming at the top of their lungs, yelling at a guy named Nick Patrick, then Retro Rewind is your spot to be.
Ah, Nick Patrick.
What a fucking nerd. By the way, that is the retro nerd of the week. Nobody can out. Well, actually, you know what? No, that's not true. Nick Patrick's attorney, Alan Sharp, he is the retro nerd of the week. This fucking guy is literally out there like serving everybody just the business. Just the business. He's out there just fucking screaming at Chris Jericho. Do you know what slander is, Mr. Jericho? I'm like, I'd punch you right in the mouth. This guy's a nerd.
Wow. I can't even find a picture of him.
I had to scour the internet for this guy. I ended up finding him as an actor. But yeah, his name is Alan Sharp. He was Nick Patrick's attorney. I literally had to type that whole thing into Google. Nick Patrick's attorney, Alan Sharp.
I typed Alan Sharp WCW and got nothing.
Exactly. That's what happens.
So we know the retro nerd of the week. Now we need to know the modern geek of the week. Hit the music, Jack.
Hit the music.
Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-cut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek.
I think this week's Geek of the Week should be just obvious as fuck. And how this guy's even like allowed on social media anymore is fucking beyond me. And the award this week goes none other than the fucking dumb shit meathead himself, Ryback, for talking shit on Twitter, talking right out the side of his fucking neck like a fucking moron, like he does each and every goddamn fucking week. And yes, I'm gonna fucking rip on him for it. Like, just stop, dude. Just stop. Like, I've never seen a guy quite literally dig his own grave more than I've seen Ryback. Like, if you ever wanted to bury yourself, you need to find Ryback on Twitter ASAP. He is the greatest coach of how to bury your own fucking person than anybody I've ever fucking seen. Wow.
As promised to the Phoenix, I promised him I'd mention it. He joined the elusive club. Well, it's not very elusive, actually, of getting blocked by Ryback.
Yeah.
I was blocked years ago, so I couldn't respond to one of his stupid tweets, but Phoenix did.
I'll say, Phoenix, bro, we need a screenshot. We got to put that bitch on the show.
Yeah, I need to find it right now.
We need this. I said I'm a part of the club.
Oh, yeah, it was the tweet that Ryback posted about when Punk got injured, like karma rules.
Like, what a fucking... Shut up.
So,
just shut the fuck up.
Obviously, because I can't respond to him because I'm blocked. I'm blocked on like 4 different accounts by Ryback, by the way. Because I got the Max account, like...
What did he do? Just go by everybody's everything and just start block. The second you mention wrestling, block.
Anything negative, or if you disagree with him in the slightest, block.
Sounds like Donald Trump.
So, obviously, because I can't reply, I posted to the Max group. Yes, karma does rule. That's why he gets no bookings and no major promotion has touched him in 4 years. So, because Phoenix wasn't blocked, he responded with that to him. And Ryback blocked the Phoenix.
Bam.
Welcome to the club, Phoenix.
It's not very exclusive.
Go get your t-shirt.
Oh, they still have them? I thought they ran out by now.
Oh, yeah, Ryback definitely deserves to be Geek of the Week. It's amazing that I think it's his first time as Geek of the Week. That's very amazing.
How in the fuck is it only his first time?
Because it's usually like Joe Gacy.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what? Yeah, you're.
Or
well, then
Giant
again,
Edge.
like look at like Joe Gacy is a fucking nerd.
It's either Gacy or Giant Edge usually. But
well, that's why I'm so glad I'm not watching NXT anymore. I mean, and I will admit, Nick Patrick is definitely going to get a lot of them, or somebody working with Nick Patrick is going to get a lot. But then again, we don't know. That's the great thing about retros. It's literally played by ear, as they say.
Yeah. All right, time now for the best of the week to finish off the show. First up, wrestler of the week. I can't think of anybody else that deserves it more. I was thinking of Mox, but then the more I thought about it, the more I thought I can't not give it to Cody for that performance.
The balls.
Yeah, the cojones to go out there with the torn back
alone.
Just
man,
nuts, and pretty much
Quite
the
literal.
entire wrestling world has agreed that was nuts. And
again, when
very
you're on
brave.
when they talk about you on Pat McAfee's show and they can't even truly laugh at the fucking you tore your tit, because they give a shit more about how fucking brave and just fucking bananas you are for that. Like, that's fucking huge, bud. It's huge. Again, when the dudes you left are taking notice of what you're doing, good on you, bro. Now, I really wish you wouldn't have. I don't need you constantly, being that motherfucking injured. You're already going to be out 6 months, But, I mean, if you're also not going to add on to it, who fucking cares?
Yeah. If you can push through. More power to you.
More power to you.
Moment of the week. I think we should give it to Will Ospreay's debut because it felt huge when he popped up in AEW. And like we said, he did get a big pop. A lot of people knew who he was. And you felt the impact of him being there. So definitely moment of the week goes to Ospreay. And it also drives home this New Japan invasion that we keep seeing more and more of each week on Dynamite.
It's getting good, man. We're about 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
From fucking for 3. We literally just had Double or Nothing. We had
2 weeks.
That's right. Fucking 2 weeks. So we just had the fucking show at the LA Forum. The fucking Ontario Rampage was hot as shit, according to fucking people I know that were in the crowd.
Nice.
They're on a fucking roll right now. You brought in, the Great O'Con's been there, Jeff Cobb, Aussie Open. You brought all of UE. Will Ospreay showed up. I'm sure Jay White may come next week or something. For all we know, more dudes are coming just to help build Forbidden Door. That's fucking huge. It's huge. And we haven't had a bad Dynamite because of it. Ever since the announcement of Forbidden Door, every Dynamite has been excellent.
Yeah. They're killing it with this New Japan relationship.
Thank God. This should have been happening forever ago, but fucking COVID screwed us. Now we're telling COVID to go fuck itself.
So, for dumbest moments of the week, this was actually the first one that I picked. It was very easy this week. Becky Lynch competes for the 24/7 title on Raw.
What?
Literally, it was a one-on-one match, Becky versus Dana for the 24/7 title.
What?
Why?
What?
I don't get it. Why?
Okay. Well, all I know about that motherfucking thing is I've been seeing Dana Brooke hold it and like defend it like a normal belt. And like, as far as has she still been chased by goons all week long?
Wait a minute. This wasn't for the 24/7 title. She was against Dana Brooke, and then the 24/7 goons got involved, and then Dana pinned. Yeah.
But wouldn't it still be on the line because it's 24/7?
Well, it kind of was, yeah. So Tozawa, who was a 24/7 champion, showed up at ringside. Everybody else got involved. Dana Brooke rolled him up, and Becky Lynch just like, what the fuck's going on?
Dana Brooke won it back. Gotcha.
Yeah. But this is where I'm getting confused now. So Dana Brooke won it back. Then we come back from the break. It's Becky versus Dana for the 24/7 title. So it was just a singles match, and then because Dana Brooke won the 24/7 title back, they turned it into a title match. This
is why I don't watch, because even reading, like, even if you watched it, you couldn't explain that. That's the problem. It's like, what the fuck, bro? How can I make sense of this? How can I re-explain this to somebody? That's what I'm driving at. This is the problem with this product.
So, Becky Lynch, who one of your biggest stars in WWE, was at one point literally the face of the company. She was getting more opportunities than the men. She was probably getting paid about as much as Roman. She's main evented WrestleMania. She's pushed a ton of merchandise. She's just come off a feud with Bianca Belair, and now she's in one with Asuka. And you put her in a 24/7 title match. The joke title. The title that drove Jeff Hardy away from WWE.
Yep.
And Dana Brooke won.
Gerald Briscoe won. Bullshit.
Dana won with a little bit of interference from Asuka. So there you go. Becky competing for the 24/7 title is the dumbest moment of the week.
Makes perfect sense too.
I can't wait. I don't think I've seen anybody do it, but if they have, I point me in the direction of people defending this shit.
Oh, please don't be defending this shit. I won't tolerate that one.
No.
Nuh-uh.
And your week is complete. So thank you everybody for spending your Thursday with us. You know where to find us at Max Wrestling UK on Twitter and at the Captain 512 and SMRPodNet. Once again, the website is maxwrestling.net, and don't forget maxwrestling.net/fight for Fight for the Knowledge information. And now listen up, you pencil neck geeks, because this is what Moses has for you this week.
That's right. As you guys heard from our newest, loveliest segment, working A to the B to the Retro Rewind episode 59 will be dropping. What I'm going to try to do is I would really like to do a double episode. But if I do that, then you guys don't get a preview for 60, so we'll see how it works out. But for sure, on Monday, episode 59 will drop. If not, it'll drop sooner, and then you'll get 60 on Monday. But I will stay on the socials for that. Bolt Rant, as like I said in weeks past, we're in OTA times. There's not too much to talk about. We could talk about camp battles. We can do that. There is a giant special coming from that. I'm getting multiple Charger fans in a room. We're going to have just basically like a live, just fucking rant at this point, because I was going to do this whole thing where we were all going to be at our houses and do our shows and this and that, and they're just like, dude, we all live in San Diego, we'll just come to yours. I'm like, all right, cool. So that's going to be the plan. As soon as it gets like finalized, we'll talk about it. But in reality, you know, we're very standstill over here on the football world. So that's why Retro's ramping up fast, and I cannot wait. Make sure you're doing the Twitters. Make sure you're on the Facebooks. I need your guys' votes. We got to find Wrestler of the Week, because that's how the shows end. The shows end with the Wrestler of the Week's theme being played, and it's always a fun little gesture right after listening to one of your new favorite podcasts. So, yeah, check that out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Apple Music, whatever the fuck. Everywhere you'll find Max Wrestling, you can find Smart Mark Radio and Retro Rewind.
Yes, and go vote for Crush, because I want to hear his theme.
Fuck yeah. I'm with that one.
And also, I know I keep saying it's coming, but the second half of season 2 of Open Road is coming soon. I just need to finish this damn episode. But hopefully it'll be up this weekend. Episode 4.
It's like I got to send you a big ass fucking SIM card or something. SD card.
You know what? We actually shot some more for another 2 episodes the other day. Before we've even uploaded the episodes from before. So there's like 5 episodes coming.
Sweet.
And with that said, join us next week for, I don't know, a stopgap before we do Forbidden Door predictions in 2 weeks. There's not much going on next week. We'll see what happens on SmackDown, Raw, Rampage, and Dynamite. Until then, you've been watching The Cap and Mo. Goodbye and good night. Bye.
Stop fucking the nonsense and pass the bill. Talk about the U.S., baby.